CRO Coin saw a nice 14% pump on the news that the Crypto.com and Cronos team will be collaborating with Amazon Web Services on their startup program to attract more talent to the Cronos chain. So what does this mean for the future price action of CRO? Can this collaboration help this altcoin hit $1? We are going to break all that down in today's video. The Cronos chain official Twitter account shared that they are collaborating with AWS to boost Web3 startup growth through the Cronos Accelerator program. And this, we see all the time where different crypto companies will say that they are collaborating or partnering with AWS, when in reality, they are simply just tapping into AWS technology for their crypto infrastructure. This is not that. This is in fact a mutual collaboration between the two. And we can see here right off the bat that AWS actually responded to this tweet saying Team Cronos Chain. And on top of that, they posted here on their official LinkedIn account with over 8.1 million followers that AWS is working with Cronos Labs to support Web3 startups to develop DeFi, GameFi, SocialFi, and infrastructure applications. Now, we broke down in this thread exactly what this could mean for the future price action of CRO and growth of the Cronos chain. And it's worth noting that right off the bat, CRO Coin saw a nice 14% pop on this news. And this is obviously very big news for CRO Coin and Cronos specifically. Amazon is one of the biggest companies in the world, but Amazon Web Services is the largest cloud provider in the world and a major player in crypto infrastructure. So the fact that Amazon has recognized the Cronos chain, I believe will drive a lot of talent over to this chain in the coming months if they can really capitalize on this collaboration. So we broke it down here in a Twitter thread exactly what this means for Cronos. And if you do want to follow me on Twitter, go ahead and find the link in the description down below where we drop a ton of crypto alpha. But essentially, Cronos Labs, a blockchain startup accelerator focusing on DeFi, blockchain games, and the development of the Cronos chain's ecosystem, has announced it will be leveraging AWS Activate. Startups enrolled in the Cronos Accelerator program through AWS Activate can leverage the full breadth of AWS infrastructure and services, including AWS Cloud Credits, office hours, and mentorship. And through this collaboration, startups will benefit from the scalability, security, and flexibility of AWS's cloud infrastructure, allowing them to build and deploy their blockchain-based applications quickly and efficiently. They can also explore innovation at the intersection of blockchain from a range of machine learning and AI services offered by AWS. There's that new hype word there, AI, gotta have it all over the place. Cronos Labs will provide support and guidance to help startups build the next generation of dApps that onboard millions of potential new users. So all that sounds fine and dandy, but what does this mean for the future of CRO Coin and the Cronos chain? And we talk about a couple of things here. So number one, I believe the Cronos team has struck this collaboration in an attempt to re-accelerate the growth of Cronos after TVL and transactions have remained pretty much stagnant since the beginning of 2023. And we can actually see here, if I go ahead and take a look at DeFi Llama, and we do have the Cronos chain pulled up here. And what you're going to notice right off the bat is that since January, Cronos has pretty much remained in between this 400 million in TVL and about 360 million in TVL, more or less, even 350 mil at one point. You can see here that ever since the last decline in November of 2022, that it pretty much has just been moving flat to slightly downwards. And I do hope that seeing this collaboration between Cronos and AWS could get us to see a nice uptick once again in TVL on this blockchain. So we can also see here, taking a look at the total amount of transactions on Cronos, that this also has pretty much remained stagnant since the new year with an average of about 50,000 transactions per day. And to kind of understand just how small this is compared to some other blockchains, we're going to go ahead to Etherscan and actually take a look at the amount of transactions that are happening on average for Ethereum. Now, it's worth noting, of course, that Ethereum is the largest blockchain in the world, so obviously its transactions are going to be much higher than most. But we can go ahead and compare 50,000 transactions per day on Cronos to about 1 million per day on Ether. And you can see here, Cronos chain is doing about 5% of the transactions that Ethereum is doing. Obviously, the Cronos team would want to accelerate this quite a bit. Taking a look at this chart, back here in April of 2022, we were at about 480,000 transactions per day, and since then has declined about 90% from that peak down to an average of about 50K. So given the effectiveness of the Crypto.com team's ability to advertise and strike major partnerships, I believe that raising awareness towards their work with AWS could drive more devs to explore the Cronos chain as an option for their decentralized applications. Now, more importantly, regardless of Cronos, I believe there are other reasons to be bullish on CRO that we have outlined below. And number one comes from Crypto.com, okay? So Crypto.com is one of the fastest growing and most regulated crypto exchanges with 80 million users globally and growing. And this growth is super impressive considering the fact that on May 6th of 2022, it was announced that Crypto.com had just passed the 50 million user mark. So effectively, Crypto.com grew their users by about 40% in the middle of a bear market, and who even knows what this could look like once we are back in a bull run. And there was a lot more FOMO and a lot more people looking to hop onto crypto exchanges and join the bandwagon. So, I mean, obviously there are some options on Crypto.com that do incentivize you to actually go ahead and hold your CRO on the platform, with the main one here really being the Crypto.com Visa program. So there is sort of a correlation here between people signing up for the platform and potentially getting into the Visa, and people essentially locking up their CRO in order to keep this Visa and the rewards that come with it. So the Visa program here is one of the best globally in my opinion. This was my original bull case behind CRO, is that you effectively are forced to lock up your CRO for this Visa for the juicy rewards. And after the 6-month mandatory lockup period, if you do attempt to unstake your CRO, you're going to lose majority of these benefits, and it's really not worth it in my opinion. I think that CRO is much better staked for the Visa to maintain this nice cash back. So there is a correlation between people signing up for Crypto.com, potentially getting the Visa, and the amount of holders that are looking to keep CRO for the long run. Now, additionally, that is not the only incentive for you to hold CRO on a Crypto.com product, as the Crypto.com exchange has yet to launch in the United States. And this is not to be confused with the main app that we just took a look at. We're going to go ahead and actually take a look at the Crypto.com exchange website here. And we can see here that it did begin their rollout in the US of last year, but they have not yet actually been able to go ahead and launch this. I think that has to do a lot more with regulatory issues. But once this exchange does launch in the United States, it will once again, I believe, incentivize a lot more people to lock up their CRO on this platform. So this platform here is meant for much more experienced traders offering options and leverage trading. And I'm just waiting for it to actually load here so you can see. If we actually go to trade, you can see over here under the trade tab that you have spot, perpetual, futures, warrants, and over-the-counter block trades. So this is definitely meant for people more experienced in trading, and the app incentivizes people to stake your CRO for reduced trading fees and even trading rebates with over 100,000 CRO staked. We can see here that between 50 to 100,000 CRO staked, you are getting a 4% APR and a 0 fee here for trading. From 100,000 CRO to 500,000 CRO staked, you are getting a 0.01 basis point rebate, and over 500,000 CRO staked, you are getting a 0.02 basis point rebate with an 8% APR on top of that. So effectively, what this means is that for institutions trading millions of dollars, I mean, even a 0.01 to 0.02 basis point rebate, that is definitely not a small chunk of change for institutions that are trading millions of dollars on the platform. And additionally, we know that since March 15th of last year, they began this rollout specifically for select institutional investors. And that's what we want to see for CRO, is not only retail adoption, but also the institutional adoption of this altcoin. So those are the two main points here and the two key drivers of growth, I believe, for CRO coin behind Crypto.com itself. And that does not even get us into the DeFi options, the decentralized blockchains that CRO coin does power. So the first one here is the Crypto.org chain, currently offering about 11% APY on staked CRO with 5.5 billion CRO locked up on the chain. So let's go ahead over to Crypto.org Explorer. And we can see over here that at the moment there is 5.5 billion CRO delegated to this chain. And if we do take a look at the top validators here, you can see at the moment that the best yield you can earn yourself is about a 10.92%. And if we take a look here on stakingrewards.com and look at the yields being offered by some of the top 50 cryptos, even more specifically some of the top 10, I mean, CROcoin definitely does come in with a very impressive double-digit yield. We have Ether offering 4.7% staking yield, Cardano offering 3.14%, Solana 6.54%, BNB chain 2.56%. Avalanche is competitive here with a 7.91% yield. We actually do have Polkadot here with 14.23% and Atom with 22% yield, but for the most part you can see that a lot of these staking yields are in the single digit territory. So this is, in my opinion, a very attractive aspect of CROcoin, the fact that it does offer you a double digit yield on your DeFi staking. And number 5 here is the potential for a CROcoin burn that is being explored by the team. Now, we covered the initial proposal here on the channel in 2 different videos. If you do want to check those out, feel free. And although this first proposal is very weak in my opinion, this shows that the team is at least working on reducing the supply of CRO and that we could see another burn proposal in the future. If you don't think it's possible, let me remind you that Crypto.com did burn 70 billion CRO back in February of 2021, and this did in fact lead to a very nice increase of the price of CROcoin itself. So to conclude, I think there are still lots of reasons to be bullish on CRO besides the Cronos chain, but this AWS collaboration could also help Cronos play a major role in the future adoption and price action of CRO. Now, additionally, from a technical perspective, there is one chart that I have been keeping my eye on lately, and that is the CRO versus Bitcoin valuation. So I tweeted here that CRO versus Bitcoin does appear to have found a bottom at a strong level of support. Last time CRO bottomed out versus its Bitcoin pair at this area, it proceeded to outperform Bitcoin by 675%. So after months of underperformance, it looks like CRO could in fact be ready for takeoff here. And to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about, here is the CRO versus Bitcoin valuation. And we can see here that every time CRO has kind of come back into this purple range, so back in 2021, this did then lead to months of outperformance here from the bottom in about February. So this would actually coincide here with the announcement of the CROcoin burn all the way up to the renaming of the Staples Arena to the Crypto.com Arena in November of this same year. Obviously, I don't think we have the same catalyst in play to see such an explosive move on the CRO to Bitcoin valuation, but it is definitely back in a very interesting range in which we did see a major move for CRO the last time we were in this rectangular box. So to conclude, I mean, all things considered, I do think that the news here is good news for CROcoin, and after months of underperformance, this could in fact be CROcoin's time to catch up on some of those gains compared to the major blue chips like Bitcoin and Ether. So on that note, I hope you guys did enjoy the content in today's video. You know what to do. If you made it all the way to the end, you are an absolute champion. Let me know in the YouTube comments down below and claim that champion status. I hope you are all having an amazing Friday. I'm wishing you all an amazing weekend ahead, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace out for now.